Good morning, students. Today let's begin a new chapter, chapter number 4, A Truly Beautiful Mind. So from now on, students, I'm going to explain to you paragraph by paragraph. It's not possible to read out, word by word and explain to you sentence by sentence because it's all because of time limit, okay? So in order to save time, I'm going to explain to you paragraph by paragraph. And I'm pretty sure that you got a textbook in front of you. So please go along with me, students. Right, so before you read, what comes in your mind when you heard the word genius? Okay. So this story, A Truly Beautiful Mind, is about a young German civil servant, yeah? And in the year 1905, when he was just 26 years old, he published, 4 breaking papers. That was about light, motion, electrodynamics, and of moving bodies, yeah? So this, young German civil servant, when he was just 26 years old, he took the world by storm. That was about 100 years ago. And later on, this young German civil servant transformed the name is Einstein, Albert Einstein, a very famous scientist, yeah? Synonym for genius. So Einstein's means the same as genius, okay? And even after 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius still reigns. We still remember him, yeah, even after 50 years of his death. Okay. Now next, first paragraph. Right. So paragraph number 1. Einstein was born on 14 March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Okay, he was born in German city, and then without any indication that one day he will become very famous, will become very great. But on the other hand, his mother told that Albert Einstein was a very freak, means very unusual person, yeah? And to her, his head seems to be very large. Einstein's head seems to be very large, yeah? In other words, he got a very, big head since childhood. All right, second paragraph. Look at the words meaning freak, okay? Read by yourself, students. Now here in second paragraph, now when when he attained the age of 2.5 years, he still could not speak, okay? Was not talking. And then when one day he finally learned to speak, he uttered a word twice. So whatever word he spoke, okay, he used to speak twice, 2 times. And Albert Einstein, he did not know what to do with other children, okay? So his playmates or his friends used to call him Brother Boring, okay? So this is the nickname of Einstein when he was young, okay? Brother Boring. So the youngster played by himself. All right, let's look here. Otto Neugebauer. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's the name of a person, right? He was an historian, okay, mathematics. And he said that Einstein, he has the characteristics of legend. And Einstein was a late talker, okay? And whenever he spoke, he used to utter everything twice. So he was a very late talker. And so his parents were worried. And at last, what happened one night at the dinner table, all of a sudden, Einstein broke out his silence to say, "The soup is too hot," okay? This is the first sentence he spoke, okay? And they were very happy, greatly relieved, yeah? And his parents asked Einstein why he never had a word before. Albert replied that because up to now, everything was in order. Up to now, everything was in order. I did not have any complaint, but today the soup is too hot. That is why I am speaking these words. Yeah, so parents were greatly relieved. They were very happy. Okay, let's move to the next page. So the youngster played by himself much of the time. Okay. He especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister Maza, he said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" ? So Einstein, okay, when he was young, he took the part of a youngster, okay, much of the time, and of course he loved these mechanical toys, okay, especially. And a newborn sister, okay, his sister, newborn sister named Maza, okay, and he said, find where there are wheels, okay. When Einstein saw his newborn sister Maza, okay, he could not see her feet, okay, wheel means feet, okay, he could not see her feet. That is why he was asking, where are her wheels, where are her feet or legs, okay, because he couldn't see it. Okay, third paragraph. Once a headmaster, okay, told Einstein's father that no matter what profession your sons choose, he will never become a success at anything. That is what headmaster told his father, okay, Einstein's father, that your son Einstein will never become success in his life, whatever profession he choose. But it was not true, right? It turns out to be a very great scientist at the end. Let's see what happened here. And after that, Einstein, he started, learning to play a violin when he was at the age of 6. Okay, he was 6 years old, and he started playing violin because his mother wanted him to play. Okay, and he became a gifted amateur. Underline the word amateur. Anyway, it's given here, maintaining the skill throughout his life. So he became a violinist. Okay, violinist and maintaining the skill throughout his life. Here, amateur means doing something for personal enjoyment rather than a profession. So he became an amateur, violin amateur, because that was not his profession, okay, just for personal enjoyment, okay. To pass his time, he was playing violin because his mother told him, wanted him to play violin, right? So playing violin is not his profession, just for personal enjoyment, okay. Now let's move to the fourth paragraph. But anyway, Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. He was a good pupil, not bad. And then after that, he went high school in Munich, okay? MUNIC, Munich, and his family had moved when he was just 15 months old. And he scored very good marks in almost every subject. So he's not a bad pupil, right? Bad student. He's not very brilliant, but not a bad student, okay? And here Einstein hated the school's regimentation. Regimentation means discipline, okay? He disliked the school's discipline and often, clash means made an argue, often fight with his teachers. And at the age of 15, what happened? Einstein was so, fed up, okay, with his school life. So he left the school for good, for his own good, yeah? Stifle means unable to breathe. Means he was fed up, okay, with the rules and regulations in the school. So he left it. He left the school for his own good when he was just 15 years old. Okay, paragraph 5. So the previous year, this last year, okay, Albert's, Einstein's parents, they moved to the Milan, okay, and left their sons with relatives. And after a prolonged means long, okay, discussion, okay, Einstein got his wish to go to German-speaking Switzerland, okay, in a city. He moved to the city which he was more liberal than Munich, see? More liberal and is willing to understand and respect others' opinion. So at last he was shifted there, yeah? Okay, next. Einstein was very, gifted in mathematics. He loved mathematics, yeah? And also interested in physics subject. And after finishing his school, he decided to study where? At the Zurich University, okay? But science was not the only thing that appealed to the dashing man with his walrus mustache. Okay, here walrus mustache refers to Albert Einstein, okay? His mustache looks like a walrus because of, two large, tusks pointed downward, pointing down, like an elephant tusk. The shape of a mustache, right? That pointing downwards, like a tusk. So his mustache is compared walrus mustache. So he was a dashing young man. Okay. Here, if you look at a picture, Einstein in 1900, at the age of 21, and in the year 1955, still we remember him now. Yeah, this is his face. Yeah. Einstein face. Okay, so let's move to page 78 quickly. I'm sorry, 47, I mean. Okay. Okay, now here, paragraph 7, what happened here? They're in Switzerland, okay? Einstein is in Switzerland, right? Switzerland University. So in this university in Zurich, of course, Switzerland is nearby Germany, okay? Boundary of Germany, okay? Here, university in Zurich, he met very special fellow student named Miliva Merrick, okay? And whom he found to be very clever person, okay? Very clever creature. So this young Serb means Serbia, okay? She's a girl, Milvia Merrick, she's a Serb, and she's from Serbia. He came to Switzerland because here in Switzerland, University of Zurich is in, of course, Zurich, University of Zurich is in Switzerland, right? It's one of the, few places in Europe where women could get degrees, so she came there to study, yeah? Right, so there in the university, Einstein saw her, Mileva Merrick, and then made a close relationship with her, okay? And they fell in love. They were against the Philistines, which means a word used disapproved to talk about who do not like literature or music, yeah? And then what happened? The couple fell in love. Now, letters survive in which they put their affection, okay? Now they fell in love with one another, mixing their science, okay, mixing the studies with their tenderness, with their love, with their caring, yeah. All right. Now they started to share everything about their life, about their relationship, and mixing with all this education science. So wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both," when we say we means Einstein and Melvia Merrick, okay, have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. The famous theory of relativity, okay? So Einstein said that he will be very happy when he and his love, yeah, Melvia Merrick, together complete the theory of relativity. That will be the day that will make him happy and proud, and that will be the victorious conclusion, okay? When they, together could bring or could brought the theory of relativity to a conclusion. So he was so happy about it, waiting for the day. All right, so let's move to the next paragraph 8. So in 1900, at the age of 21, Einstein, he was a university graduate. He completed his graduation and was unemployed, okay? He could not get a job. So after that, after his graduation, he worked as a teaching assistant, okay? And gave private lesson, and he finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Bern is a place. Patent means a document which gives the right of an invention to an inventor. Of course, he was an inventor, right? So he was given a right, okay, that he can invent something, a document. Right, so let's see what happened next. So while Einstein was supposed to, help others people's invention or to check others people's invention, but actually he did not. But he was working his own ideas in secret. Okay, he was developing his own ideas in secret. Okay, and he said jokingly one day, called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics, because this is the place. This is the place, his desk drawer is the place where he started his work, okay? First in his lifetime. That's why he says the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. The first place where he started his job, okay? Desk drawer. The next paragraph. In 1905, Einstein's special theory of relativity, okay? If you look here, the formula E equal to mc square. In this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, right? And M for mass. You might have learned all this in science. And C for the speed of the light in a vacuum, about 30,000 kilometers per second, okay? So it says that according to the theory of relativity, okay, time and distance are not absolute. It means not in relation, okay? They are different. And he also says that, yes, when two clocks, okay, started to work, then it will not show the same time. Okay, one will be faster. One clock would be faster than the another one. So one would be slower and one clock would be faster. If they started to work, it will not be the same. And of course, this is the formula he invented, the relationship between mass and energy, right here. And he said, when you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. He says that when you sit with a nice girl or beautiful girl, right, good girl, for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. But when you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. That's relativity, Albert Einstein. Nice quote. Anyway, let's move to page number 49. Okay, so paragraph 10. Now, while Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life, okay, was unraveling and started to fall. A bad relationship, okay, in his private life. What happened? Albert Einstein wanted to marry Meliva, okay, Meliva Merrick, remember that his fellow student met in the, Zurich University, right? So Einstein wanted to marry her, right, after finishing his studies, but Einstein's mother was not happy. He was against it, okay? She did not like her son to marry with this Melvia, because his mother told her that Melvia was 3 years older than Einstein and was too old for him. Moreover, Melvia's intelligence bothered him. Means she is a book like you, her mother said. His mother said. What does it mean? It means that Melvia is intelligent as Einstein, okay? So his mother said Einstein put the wedding off. That is why Einstein canceled the wedding. So his mother said to Einstein that Einstein, you cannot marry lady or a woman who is as intelligent as book as you. Okay, so Einstein at last canceled the wedding. Next, what happened? Paragraph 11, of course, at last, they finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But few years later, the marriage faltered and became very weak. And Malvina, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambitions and became a very unhappy housewife. Okay, she was so intelligent before, isn't it? Now, she's become an ordinary unhappy housewife. So after years of constant fighting, okay, the couple divorced in the year 1919. So they were married in the year 1906 and divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa. So in the same year 1919, Einstein married his cousin Elsa. Okay, next. Okay, so here what happened here, Einstein's new personal chapter, okay, coincided with his world fame. He became very famous, okay. So his personal achievement coincide with world fame. Because of his achievement, he became very famous, right? And in 1915, he published, he released his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. You know gravity, right? And in the year 1919, there was an eclipse of the sun, okay? Because he has predicted before that in the year 1919 there you will see eclipse of the sun. So it comes true, okay? In the year 1919 there was an eclipse of the sun, which was predicted. He was predicted accurately before, so it comes true. So see, he had correctly calculated in advance beforehand, right? Deflected changed direction because it hit something. So it says that which the light from fixed stars would be seen. Light coming from the stars would be changed because when it hits something through the sun's gravitational field. This is about science. Okay, gravitation and all. Okay, I believe you might have learned in science, right? All this gravitation force and all deflected. So when light from the fixed stars will be changed to the sun's gravitational field when it hits something. Okay. So the world, the newspaper proclaimed his work, declared his work as a scientific revolution. Okay, you may underline this word, scientific revolution. Now here, paragraph 14, turning point. Now in the year 1933, Nazis became power in Germany, okay? It was led by famous Adolf Hitler, right? The Nazis. So because of Nazis, when Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany, okay, Nazist party, in 1933, Einstein moved to United States. And after 5 years, nuclear fission in Berlin is in Germany, right? Has been discovered. And the American is in an uproar, okay. See, in atom bomb, right? You might have heard name Otto Hahn, I believe, yeah. So atom bomb was originally invented by a German, isn't scientist Otto Hahn, yeah. So many of them fled from fascism, just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid that Nazis would build and use atomic bomb. Now they're afraid that Nazis, okay, Adolf Hitler will use the atom bomb, which is very dangerous. Fascism was started by Benito Mussolini, I believed, in Italy, right? So they ran away from fascism, yeah, which was founded by Benito Mussolini in Italy. Okay, so they were afraid that one day the Nazis, Adolf Hitler's party, will use the bomb, atomic bomb, yeah, which is very dangerous. So they were afraid, so everyone ran away. Okay, let's move next page. Okay, at the argument, colleague Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. So argument request, okay, so at the request of his friend colleague, okay, Einstein, he wrote a letter to the then American President Franklin D. Roosevelt that it was on 2nd August 1939, okay, in the letter he warned that a single bomb of this type, atom bomb, okay, if it is exploded in the port, everything will be destroyed, okay, the whole port together with some of its surrounding territory, everything would be destroyed. So he warned to the President of America, Franklin D. Roosevelt, through his letter on 2nd August 1939, as requested by his friend colleague, yeah. This shows his concern, and Einstein has a humanity quality. Humanity, right? Now his words, okay, Einstein's words did not fall off an effect. It has result. So what happened? The American, they developed the atomic bomb in a secret project, okay, of their own, and dropped in the Japan cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1949. It's 45. This is the end of the Second World War, right? Second World War started in the year 1939, I guess. Yeah, 39 to 45. So when the atom bomb was dropped in Japan cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, yeah, the Second World War came to an end. Now here, even though the atomic bomb, okay, atom bomb was invented in German, okay, by Otto Hahn, they did not misuse it, okay, they did not use, okay, but American, they developed the idea of atomic bomb in a secret project, and then at last they dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, yeah. Okay. 16. So when he heard about the dropping of bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Einstein was deeply shaken, was badly hurt by the extent of destruction. It was greatest destruction, a catastrophic destruction, yeah. So this time he decided to write a letter to the United Nations, UN. Massive means a very lengthy letter, okay, very large, very long letter to the United Nations. And in that letter he suggested the formation of the world government, but unlike the letter of Roosevelt, it has no impact, okay. They did not take his words, okay. It was declined. And what happened? Next decade, Einstein got more involved in politics, okay, agitated for an end of the arms built up and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. As I said, he was a scientist, but what happened? Next decade, he started to work in politics, okay? He involved in politics to end the war, okay? To, give up arms. And he started campaigning for peace and democracy of the world, okay? So he loves peace, not war. Now last paragraph. At last he died in the year 1955 at the age of 76. And we celebrated as a visionary person and world citizen as much as scientific genius. He was a scientific genius. Visionary means a person who can think about the future in an original and intelligent way. So he's a visionary, isn't it? He's a person that can think about the future, what will happen in the future, yeah? And still we remember him, okay? And he was a genius scientist, a scientific genius. So students, that is the end of this chapter. I'm going to give you homework for today. While thinking about text, read the questions, and you need to find out the paragraph, okay? Einstein's equation. This Einstein equation is written in paragraph 9. Likewise, fill up all this. You may write down here in the textbook, use your pencil, okay? And then click it and send it to me. Or if you really want, you can write in your copy, but it really doesn't matter. But you must write with your pencil here in the textbook, yeah? You can just photo click and send it to me. One more homework, next page. Right, page number 51, question number 8. Arrange them in a chronological order, arrange them in a sequence, okay? So, to be able to answer this, you need to go to the textbook, read the textbook thoroughly, and then send it to me. Write in your copybook and send it to me, this question number 8, okay? Whereas the other questions, here 2, 3, and 4, I have already given you, so do not forget to go through one more time, study at home. So students, that will be all for today. See you in my next class. Until then, you take care. Bye-bye.